You've seen how list and form let us create scrolling tables of content. But for times we want to scroll arbitrary data, i.e. just some views we've made, we've got to turn to SwiftUI's ScrollView. Now scroll views can work horizontally, vertically, or in both axes at the same time. And it can also let us control whether we show a little scroll bar on the left or right side, giving users a rough feel of how much content there is to scroll through. Even better, they automatically adapt the scrolling space based on the content we add, making them very easy to use. As an example, we could make a scrolling list of 100 text views like this. A scroll view with a VStack inside, and add some spacing in there too. Then loop from 0 to 100, writing text, and we'll do item is $0 in font title. I'll press Command R to run that back in the simulator, and you should see you can drag the scroll view around freely to see it scroll. So here we go, all the way down to the very bottom. And notice how it also treats a safe area just like list and form do. It'll make sure all our rows scroll around normally, including hanging off the screen here a little bit, but they add some padding to the very bottom, so you get there, item 99 is fully visible as opposed to being hidden behind the home indicator. Now you might also notice that it's a bit annoying having to scroll around in the center here, because our scroll view is actually only the width of our VStack, which is this middle bit here. It's more common to have the whole area scrollable. To get that behavior, you want to make the VStack take up more space while leaving the default center alignment intact, like this. Just say for your VStack as a frame with a max width of infinity. And now the VStack will expand while the text will stay in the middle. So now I can just grab any side of this thing and just scroll around. So the scroll indicator is nice and visible the entire time, and it's easier to use too. Now this all seems probably fairly straightforward, however there's an important catch you need to be aware of. When we add views to a scroll view like we do here, they get made immediately. All of them do. All 100 are made instantly for this view. To see this in action, we could make a simple wrapper around a regular text view like this. We could say there's a struct called custom text, which is a view. This thing has a single text string property and a body which simply puts that to a text view like that. But critically also adds an initializer. It takes our text string and will print out inside there, creating a new custom text. So whenever one's made, it'll tell us it's being made, then stashes text away for later on, like that. And now we can just say, rather than text item 0, custom text item 0. And the result should look identical. But you will also see in your Xcode debug output area here, I haven't scrolled at all yet, you'll see lots and lots of rows being printed down here. So it's going to create them all immediately. All 100 rows being made immediately. If you want to avoid this, there is an alternative for both VStack and HStack called Lazy VStack and Lazy HStack respectively. These can be used in exactly the same way, more or less, as regular stacks, but they'll load their content on demand. And that means they won't create views until they're actually shown on the screen. As a result, they'll minimize the amount of system resources needed to be used at any given time. So in this situation, we could say, don't give me a regular VStack, give me a lazy VStack. Literally all it is adding the word lazy before VStack to have our code run more efficiently. I'll press Command R again, and you'll still see creating new custom text many times, but not nearly so many, only that many. If you look at my little scroll bar on the side here, it's pretty short, basically enough to make that many custom texts, like 18 or 19 or so, right? Whereas, if I then want to scroll down, you'll see it makes more and more and more and more, and now it's scrolling further and further each time. Go right to the bottom, I've got to scroll further and further down, and now there's lots of these things. So it's loading them on demand. Now, although the code to use regular stacks and lazy stacks is basically the same, there is one important layout difference you need to be aware of, which is that these lazy stacks will automatically take up all available free space in your layout. whereas regular stacks will only take up as much space as is needed for their children. So the lazy ones become full size, full width, or full height. Regular ones will fit the available content space. This is intentional, because if you think about it, a lazy stack has no idea how row 100 might look, right? It hasn't made that thing yet. And so if it didn't take up all available space, only took up enough space for the first 10 rows, row 100 might be wider. And so it either gets bigger, like as it changes its layout as you're scrolling through it, to be really strange, or it ends up crunching row 100 really, really small. The regular stacks don't have that problem because they make all their views up front. So it knows exactly how much space is used by the largest of your views and can calculate and add space appropriately. One last thing to mention here, which is that you can make scroll views horizontal or whatever you want to by passing a parameter when you make the thing. What axis do you want? So you could say, in here, I want to have horizontal and vertical, or in our case, we'll use horizontal. We'll now have our horizontal scroll view. Make sure you then create an H stack or a lazy H stack so it knows to lay out things horizontally. Otherwise, it will have vertical content in a horizontal controlling scroll view, which would be quite strange. So now I've used a horizontal scroll view and a lazy H stack going horizontally. And so we'll see our items go across the way like that instead.